Welcome to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing, teaching you how to promote, market, and make fat stacks for your legal practice. Here on Legal Talk Network.
Welcome to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing Office Hours. I am Tsakalakis. I am waiting for my co-host for today's Office Hours, my good friend Conrad Saam. I apologize to Conrad because I sent him the link a little bit late, and here he is.
Here he is.
My apologies, Conrad. My fault.
You
got carried over with the latest wave of research from our friends at Near Media, and we went a little long.
I haven't even looked at it.
Well, it just dropped, so it's interesting. I don't want to give away too much, but
no.
I will say this. For our segment, I started with, "Gosh, I am glad I am not an SEO only agency."
Well, they're no longer SEO only agencies. All the SEO agencies are now GEO experts, dude.
Well, I'm glad
they're multi-channel.
I'm glad I'm not a GEO only agency either, because wow. Anyway, Google is an ad machine, and we've known this for a long time, and they got to juice that shareholder value.
Well, I hate to be an asshole, but like, there's a reason. Like, I'm an SEO at heart, but there's a reason that I didn't build my agency on what I personally like, because things changed, man. They changed, and so you got to be nimble. And changing isn't all of a sudden replacing the S with a G in your EO world.
Which is also, you said something there that is actually really important advice for law firms too, which is, you didn't build your agency because of what you thought, right? And like, how many times do we talk to law firms who are like, put this on the website because I like it, or build this because I like it, or use this color because I like it?
Yeah. That is the most well-paid person in the room fallacy. And lots of decisions get made that way.
That is right. So here's a question that you posted online. When is National Breakfast Sandwich Day?
I had a great question for you.
Oh, sorry, I totally threw you there.
No, you did. I gotta search. I had a great question the other day, and I can't find it. I can't remember.
Okay, we'll keep looking for it. Meanwhile, I'll talk about breakfast sandwich. Jessica actually posted another question about our most recent episode about AI visibility. We just covered this, so it just dropped. So I don't know how much you want to get into that, but
we can answer the question. And point people to the episode. By the way, solid episode.
As always.
Yeah. What's the question?
Where did it go?
Our listeners are waiting
with bated breath.
They're going to start passing out.
Yeah. I hear you and Conrad love to talk about visibility. Can you tell me how I can improve my non-existent law firm's visibility? What's the secret sauce? That sounds more like a joke question, Jessica.
So I'll tell you that this is my problem. I was thinking more about this. We made a statement the other day, and it was very accurate, and people don't think about this. The visibility metric, and I'll just pound this point one more time. When people say visibility, when they are speaking about AI, it sounds useful, and it sounds data-driven, and it's not. And I'm just going to define visibility for you listeners, because it is a misnomer, and I heard it repeatedly at the most recent conference I was at. When people talk about which was PILMA, I wasn't going to say that. I was trying to be polite, dude.
Well, you don't not naming who said it.
I'm not naming it. Listen, I heard lots of people say it. The word visibility is the new, like,
drink.
secret sauce, right? Yeah, here, have some Kool-Aid. It's called visibility. So this is why I hate the word visibility almost as much as I hate the word ROI. The definition of visibility when it comes to AI is these tools run synthetic queries. So they make up a bunch of queries that they think people are actually using, and then they run those queries, and then they count the number of times that any citation shows up in the results, and they call that visibility. The problem is there's a multiplicity of problems with that. Number one, it's not humans actually looking for this. Number two, it has no indication of volume. It's just whether or not someone's doing the query. Number three, you can create an up and to the right graph simply by running more queries, right? It's not a percentage, so it doesn't mean anything. And number four, if you were to equate this to SEO, you would be reporting on basically the number of times you show up in the top 10, right? That was never a driving metric, right? Like you could rank for these keywords in the top 10, but like the number of times that you had a top 10 blue links result back in the day, that was never a metric. Because we had a closed loop, we could know whether or not that blue link turned into traffic. And that's my whole point. There's no freaking closed loop on this. The visibility numbers is a horrendously misleading misrepresentation of that closed loop. End of rant.
Fake impressions.
They're fake impressions. That's exactly right. Sorry, there's an easier way of saying that than me going off, but like it's fake impressions. It is all it is.
I mean, I wish we were one of these agencies that could convince our clients that fake impression. I mean, I even sell for impressions in general. I mean, here we are holding ourselves to things like cost per qualified consult and cost per case and open cases. And gosh, I would love to be on an organic CPM model, fake CPM model.
I know, right? Like, can you imagine? Yes, it's just madness.
GEOCPMagency.com is available.
Well, here's the thing, dude. This is like, we crap on this. I don't want to suggest that we don't think this is important. I don't want to suggest that this isn't something some firms should be thinking about. I don't want to suggest that you should, that we look at this as a shiny object. But I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you, the feedback mechanism does not exist. And all of these people trying to convince you that they've backdoored this out and figured it out and blah, 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 you know, it is not accurate. It is not, if it's built on visibility, it is, the agencies who are saying this are full of shit and they know it.
Let me ask you another question.
Yes.
We've heard a lot recently from our, Jeff and I go through our inbound call transcripts.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the major pitch for increased visibility is to flood the zone with content. Not hearing that?
I don't necessarily agree. Having sat through two Pilmer presentations on AI, and having just read a email newsletter from what you would refer to one of our respected colleagues. What's your little euphemism when you actually hate them?
It's not, first of all, it's not my euphemism.
It is your euphemism.
It's Simon Sinek's euphemism.
Worthy competitors.
Worthy rivals.
Worthy rivals.
And by the way, since we're here on this subject, the point is that there's plenty of blue ocean, right? There's plenty of law firms. You're not directly competing. Some people are going to be good fits for you. Some people are going to be good fits for me. Some people are going to be good fits for others.
Oh, it's come on.
I'm just telling you what it
Sorry,
means.
you're trying. This is Guy desperately trying to hang on to the high ground here. Bullshit.
I'm hanging on it. This is me hanging from the cliff.
No. So my point being, having just read a newsletter from one of what you will sarcastically refer to as our worthy rivals about the tactics that they're using, there's a shift.
They reverse engineered it.
But this is the thing that drives me crazy. There's this command of we've reverse engineered this thing, right? And that we have figured it out. And there are adjustments to tactics. I have said this for a while. There are adjustments to tactics. I will
AstroTurf Reddit.
So AstroTurf Reddit, right? Like, I can't tell you that didn't work for a while. I can't tell you that it didn't. I can't tell you that
spam YouTube.
the directories are increasingly important in the AI world, right? And I use Avo as the best example of this because semantic or what I call superlative marketing, showing up in best lawyers because people are looking for best lawyers, and this is a large language model, not based on links. And so, like, this is how this works. Like, there are adjustments in tactics. I think there are
listicles.
Oh, I was waiting for you to. I love your hatred of listicles. It just
it's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing ever that we go to these machines.
Okay.
You remembered your question? Hold on.
I remember my question.
I want to say my dumb statement first.
Go. Make your dumb statement, then I'm going to come.
It's the dumbest thing ever that people go to their favorite AI tool and type in best whatever thing that they're looking for, and they're shot back a bunch of responses from the companies that they're looking for, claiming that they're the best.
Do you want to?
People are like, ooh, ChatGPT gives you this.
You can't solve the stupidity and laziness of people. You can't.
This well-researched breakdown of why I should choose this company, and it's on a spam. Worse than what you see in Google. It's actually worse than what you would see in Google from a spam perspective. And it's funny, you see a lot of these SEO people, and they're like, we've been working way too hard to try to trick Google over here. We just need to get together and do listicles. That's it. End of story.
So listen, don't hate the player, hate the game, man. Like, you're not going to change human behavior.
Works until it doesn't.
I think your concern is less it works until it doesn't than the fact that it is dramatically unethical and unhelpful to the general public.
I mean, look,
I'm trying to get in your better than your idealistic headspace there.
General public, look, if the general public's going to use these tools like that and be wowed by the marvel of AI when it's doing this and it thinks it's like actually thinking, we're all going down together, right? Because 40% of the S&P 500 is tied up into this stuff, and this is it. Here we are, hooray, we made it.
Well, but hold on, you and I have said for a very long time that good SEO and good lawyering are completely decoupled, right?
Totally fair,
completely decoupled.
Yep, 100%.
Right. There's our overall hatred for the stupidity that is
so gross.
So gross.
So dumb.
Okay.
It's so dumb.
Let me ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
It's completely different.
Good. But we need something new.
This is from a client.
Oh, okay.
Great. I'm not going to tell you who the client is.
Okay.
Hey, Conrad. I really appreciate working with your team. You guys do an amazing job. We're doing a big push for Google reviews, so I wanted to reach out to you and see if you could leave one based on us working together. Here's the link.
Oh no. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Now, would you like to tell our dear audience why you don't do this?
Well, it's funny. Yeah. I say don't do it, but it's funny. This just came up on the Near Media conversation too.
Okay.
And Greg Sterling highlighted the FTC crackdown on this is FTC stuff. This isn't even Google stuff. The FTC has made an example of several law firms that were paying their incentive, giving gift cards to employees who were telling people to leave
family
reviews.
members.
Now, family, that's the trick, right? It wasn't clients, right? It was family members and friends, like, hey, go leave a review on this law firm on this law firm GBP profile. We'll send you a gift card. And that's the FTC. So that's real talk. Then there's Google. Google changed their guideline that said, don't ask people to leave testimonials with their names in it. So I don't know if your client asked you to say, this law firm's awesome. But to me, and I'm going to give you the legal ethics issue. If you lawyer, go out and ask Conrad to leave a review and say something like, Conrad, it was so great. You helped me through my bad car accident or whatever. And it's not true. That's clearly false and misleading marketing.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me go. I'm going to try and make excuses for this.
Make excuses. Possible. Yep.
So from the Google, I'm going to stay out of the FTC stuff. That is Guy and John Henson category. Okay. It is not me. And I'm a marketing person. So we all know I have no ethics to start out with, right? Just by definition, broad brushstrokes. Okay. On the Google front, Google doesn't care if you were a client, right?
I think that I would say
rightly
this.
so.
I would say that they. I tend to agree with you. The guideline is very. I've always said the guideline's very inclusive. If you've had an experience,
Right?
And so I think if you went on there and you were like, I'm Conrad and I've been the marketing agency for this company for a long time, and I think that they're doing a great job. Blah blah blah. I would say that's fair game, personally. Me personally.
Yep. So okay. So you can go in and say like they're good to work with within this community, right? They pay their bills on time. They're a joy to work with. They care about their clients. That's been my experience. You would have no problem with that.
That seems like that to me. Don't take. I'm not the official spokesperson for Google, but I would say that is okay. And I would take it one step further, because I've advocated for this, and maybe this is quote unquote gray hat, but I read the guidelines that say it says experience with the business. So I've been telling people, look, you got to get creative out there. If you say you put on a seminar or a webinar and you're like, and you have a QR code, and hey, if you enjoyed this webinar, you found it informational, or you had a good experience with my law firm, because I'm a representative of my law firm.
Yeah.
Go forth and make it clear. Like, hey, I listened to this. In fact, I'll even say this: Attorney Sync has reviews where it says, went to a thing that Guy was talking at and really found it valuable and helpful. Like, I think that's a fair game review, and it hasn't gotten filtered and hasn't gotten taken down. I'm sure all the web spam team is listening to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing Office Hours, so now they're going to go nuke Attorney Sync's listing. But I think that's fair game. And I think and the other thing too, this is the other thing that came up with Greg, and because I'm ranting here, I want to get how you respond to this.
Okay.
Law firms, like, they're laughing at us. They're rolling their eyes. They're like, you guys, this is silly. 90% of the firms in my market that show up in Google business profiles aren't just incentivizing their employees. They're straight up buying fake reviews.
We saw that there was someone who wanted to come to the summit. Did I share that with you? That I threw that up on Facebook. It was like a GBP expert also procures reviews for you.
What do you tell? What do you say? What do you say to lawyers though? Like, because lawyers like, look, guys, you guys are deep in the weeds with this. You're trying to give guidance. We get it, but this is a joke. It's a joke to be like, oh, I'm not going to incentivize my team with some gift cards to go have clients leave reviews and that have my name in them. People are massively at scale buying fake reviews.
So I'll tell you where I come down on this. And we have one of our guiding principles is white hat to a fault. So let's call that out for what it is. This whole like don't name the employee or don't have the employee named because of some Google, like, that is fucking stupid, and it is shooting yourself in the foot. And if Google is going to make reviews so important and then take away the best way to generate genuine reviews for the company, that is mad. That is, so I tell, and it's not unenforceable, but it's pretty close to unenforceable. That is a really tough ask. I think the mistake that the industry has is that Google is going to proactively take those reviews down. That's actually not what they're talking about. They're not talking about a review that mentions a specific person. They're talking about the act of asking someone to mention a person. Now, you could correlate those two things, but that's not actually true. Just because my surgeon was amazing and I want to talk about the surgeon doesn't mean he asked for my review, right? And so
that's
they do want people,
but pattern matching. If you've got 10,000 reviews and every single one of them names, right?
I mean, it's not going to like it's. So I'm not saying it's impossible to try and finger this, but like it's much more unenforceable. But if you're gonna do that. The most important thing you can do, they're further pushing people to what you asked about initially, which is purchasing fake reviews. That's what you mentioned. That for me crosses so many lines that there's no way. Sorry. So the other part of that is, and this is why you and I started this conversation, you can't just be a single marketing channel. That is a liability for your clients. And if you are in a market with massive review spam and you're not going to be able to play in the local results ethically, you got a really simple question. Do I want to break those ethics, or do I need to look at other marketing channels? So that sucks, right? I hate that. I don't know how to change that.
Neither do I. And it's particularly problematic because LSAs, which enjoy the lion's share of visibility in a search result, are very prominently show review counts. And in fact, our research shows that reviews matter for visibility of your LSAs too.
Yeah. I'll give you my answer to this question. I'm gonna say no, and I'll tell you why.
No to what?
To my client asking for me for a review. I think it's ethical for me to say, hey, I've been working with Bill forever, and he's a good guy, and and I represent his agency. That opens up a very, very slippery slope, right? What about those clients that I genuinely, not that I love all of you guys, but just hypothetically, let's say we had some scumbag in Houston who didn't pay their bills, just hypothetically.
Yeah.
It also sets an expectation. And the other thing, Guy, for me, and I think you feel similarly, we're very, very careful about our client list. It's very close to the vest. We never did put my little logo on your website to market my business. We never, anytime I talk numbers, I'm not sharing like case studies with names on it, because part of the value that we bring is us, and we're marketing you're not the other way around. And so I don't want to even open that door. I'm not saying I can think of 2 law firms for whom I have left reviews. 3, sorry. One was a speeding ticket law firm for whom got me out of a speeding ticket. One was the group that did and they were not a client. One is a client, and they did my will. And so I was very happy to leave them. And the other is an employment law firm that I have occasionally worked for, but also has helped me with employment issues. And so these were people with whom I actually had a relationship, who I did work, who did legal work for me, and I'm happy to do those reviews.
And for the folks that are watching along live, we would love to hear from you. Don't be shy. If you have a question or a topic you'd like to hear Conrad and I scream at each other about, drop it on your favorite platform, and it will pop up here, and we will highlight it on the show, unless you tell us you don't want us to highlight it on the show, in which case send a direct message to Conrad's cell phone.
Hey, Lunch Hour Legal Marketing, how much should I spend for 10,000 paid reviews out of Thailand?
Oh, you can get them for super cheap. It's really remarkable. AI makes it very scalable to pump out, which again, I'm not going to sit here and lament for big tech, but this is a very difficult problem. It's a very difficult problem for them to solve. In theory, they have an incentive, because if people stop thinking that the reviews are actually have any legitimacy at all, maybe they stop. But to Conrad's point, that's not happening.
Well, to go back to the near media example, it is happening, and no one cares. This to me was one of the really fascinating pieces of the near media study. You ask people if they think the reviews are genuine, and they say no. And then you ask them later on, how did they select the attorney? And they're like, oh, I had a lot of reviews, right? People know it's bullshit, and yet they're still using this signal. It is lazy and shocking to me, but it is that's how it works.
And thank you, LinkedIn user. First time here, enjoying the conversation thus far. Hi, guys. I wonder why it's not showing who it is on StreamYard.
Well, it's probably someone who sells reviews.
Totally. No, that would look much different. In fact, if you're watching this and you're a review seller, please leave a comment here, because we would love to hear from you.
I did collect a bunch of reviews from Scorpion for their own clients back in the day.
Really nice.
I've got so many screenshots of that. I should throw them up sometime.
Nice. I have, since we're rolling around into the mud here, you posted something recently on the socials about an email that you received.
Oh, do you want to roll that deep in the mud?
Well, I'm trying. I think for folks, even if you can leave it anonymous if you don't want to talk about it here live, but the short version is that an agency looks like they weren't up. Stop it. We got to stop it.
We got to stop what?
Oh no, we don't have to stop it. We got a stop it from one of our viewers. Don't say anything about it. But also, hello, Andrea. Thank you for chiming in. I wonder that's interesting that it didn't show. If all three of those comments were from Andrea, it's weird that it didn't show. But maybe there's some kind of setting thing. And also, I think this is also Andrea. I've not heard the name Scorpion in so long, and yet we have heard it. In fact, if you log into Clio, you're going to hear it.
Oh, if you have a Clio account, you hear nothing but Scorpion. You know, Clio was has taken some heat for having so many ads built into the platform, which I think is a valid heat. Is a valid heat to take? Is
valid heater?
Valid heater. If you're paying for something, man, I don't want ads in that. Like, come on. There's a reason.
Don't you pay so you don't have ads? Isn't that the whole concept?
Scorpion, go look at Spotify for a little while. Anyway, they took some heat for that, and then we got the things from Scorpion built right into the user interface. I think I've got it right here. Here, I've got it right here. Let me see if I can throw this up here.
Can you share it? You got to
get even more out of local service ads. Our partner Scorpion manages every step to ensure your firm realizes a strong ROI across marketing channels.
You know, what is your knowledge of what Scorpion is doing in the LSA context? Do you have any knowledge?
No, my knee jerk is not nice.
Oh, shocker. Well, maybe we should have him. Maybe we should have him come back. We'll have to have him come back and tell us what Scorpion does for LSAs.
We did have Scorpion on the pod. They're not bashful.
No, I'm sure that they would be more than happy to explain what it is that they do.
So you want here. This is not true. This is what, without any knowledge, I fear they might do.
Suspicion. How about this? You don't know if Scorpion's doing this, but you might have seen that this is an issue in the marketplace. Go ahead.
You make sure you have brand search turned on.
Okay. That's a good one. Power move.
You make sure you have brand search turned on.
Bid on your client's name heavily.
That's
not an LSA's, but
not an LSA's. That's not an LSA thing. No, but you are doing this by putting direct brand search on. Run that. Don't show how much your budget is actually going to the spend, and crow about all the incremental revenue that you're generating, because people you're generating a bunch of leads because people are already looking for the firm. That is, and again, I have no knowledge of how they run LSAs, but if I was to run this as unethically as possible, that's what I would do.
And who do you think owns those LSA accounts?
Yeah. Well, if in order for you not to see what is being done, you do not own those accounts. I can't. They're probably better than that.
We're rolling in the mud today, Conrad.
We can go deeper. You want to go?
Okay.
I think we should have our prospective guest on the next time we record, and I think we should do it in soon time, in real time.
Soon time.
Do it in soon time. The allegation. We're going to talk about the prospective guest here, but this was really unfortunate. Forwarded to me about on the map, which has had struggles. Yes. And I keep getting back channel conversations about their struggles. So there's a lot of rumor here, but what was forwarded to me was an email from a company out in India reaching out who they had white labeled their link building work to, and has not been.
And hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let's pause. Let me pause there.
Hold the phone.
Because when I saw you put this out there,
Yeah.
Tell us what a blogging outreach company is, Conrad.
Well, this is a fair question. I don't know what they're doing, but for those of you who are newer to the internet, let me introduce you to the concept of a blog. Blogs used to be badass. They were the major link building driver. The firms that really owned SEO back in the 2010s were blogging powerhouses. I use China Law Blog.
.com.
Dan Harris, China Law Blog. He owns that market because he's been writing about China since like 2004, right?
But that's like a totally different type of blog, man.
Well, no, I'm just telling you why blogging is was a link building powerhouse from an SEO perspective. Like it was great. It was a big deal, and
that's like real blogging though. Dan's a real blogger. Like he's actually a lawyer who blogs. I don't think that's what Blogger Outreach is doing.
Well, I do not know what they were doing, but I will get this is interesting, and it's actually very pertinent. What Guy is hinting at, and I suspect you are correct, is a bunch of emails sent out to people that are basically like, hey, here's your blog, please link to my topic on, I don't know, the red-footed ferret, whatever it might be. And it is an email outreach. It is a grind. It has been in the past effective. And I will tell you this, Guy, we have not that long ago completely stopped doing this because the efficacy of it, and this is at Mockingbird. So we run lots of different tactics. The efficacy of this kind of mass outreach has really waned. At least in our experience, and maybe bloggeroutreach.io was really good at it and are better at it, and they may have relationships that they can make these things work. I genuinely don't know, but that's that, and that was white labeled. So
let's walk through this. This is important, and then you can keep on going. So just so I understand, you can correct me if I got any of this wrong.
Yeah,
you got an email that is from a company who goes out and tries to get links on behalf of law firms from a variety of different websites of varying quality.
And by varying quality, Guy means low quality. For those of you who do not know Guy.
And the agency is paying this, or no, maybe not paying, but the agency was contracted. It was contracting Blogger Outreach to go do this on behalf of the agency's clients, right?
Yeah. And this is one of, there's a tangent here. This is the white label model that I personally don't really like. I don't think it's a great model. I like when we
what does white label mean, Conrad?
White label means I don't do any of the work. And so I get some other
it means somebody else is executing on your behalf, but you are
the brand in front of it.
You're taking credit for the work being done.
For the work. Yeah. Now, my take, I don't like the white label model. I will use an example. We do email marketing. Mm-hmm. We work with Charlie Mann because he's really good at it. And I connect our clients with Charlie Mann. They know who it is. He works through
But that's not a white label then.
That is not a white label.
Like a referral.
That is, well, it's not even a referral. It's not a referral either. Sorry.
Okay.
Charlie does the work. We run the relationship. We do the strategy. We figure he does the execution.
He's like a subcontractor. He's a subcontractor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the white label where you don't let your clients know that you're outsourcing a bunch of their job to India, I don't love that. And then I really don't love it when this happens because the white labeled firm in India who has been stiffed at a 6-figure level, which in India, 100 grand goes a long way. In India, there are a bunch of people who are now without money who have done a bunch of work, assuming that this is accurate and honest, and which I have no reason to believe that they're lying. But now this company in India who probably doesn't have a legal footprint in the United States is now trying to either, and I can't tell by the way this is worded, they're trying to either go directly to the client and do some work, or they're trying to go directly to the client and recoup the money because On the Map has, and I'll read this out, it's gross. We're reaching out to you because On the Map has not cleared dues worth nearly $100,000 and has, it's not over 100 grand, nearly 100 grand, and has stopped responding to our emails. They continued assuring us that payments would be processed, but eventually failed to clear the outstanding amount. So, and then it goes on to say, please find attached live proposal URLs and email communications proof of the work completed for your website on behalf of On the Map team. Now,
do you have those URLs, by the way, in the email?
I don't. I can't share them.
Okay.
You want to see how bad those links are. He's being a jerk. But you know, these poor guys in India. This bothers me. I speak of the nobility of the American entrepreneur, but like people who screw small businesses and small people and do it on purpose. Like if this is accurate, they continued assuring us that payments would be processed, but eventually failed to clear the outstanding amount. And they're not even talking anymore, right? If this is what actually happened, that is the deliberate abuse of people who can't fight back. And I hate that.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I think it's public knowledge, I believe. On the Map they sold the company, right? The original founders.
Welcome to my friend Socrates on Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. So On the Map was purchased by private equity, not at the risk of dragging the private equity conversation into this. So they're owned by Cloud Equity Group based out of New York. My understanding from some of the comments that have come on here is that they have deliberately done that. Here's the comment. We'll decide whether or not he wants to come on and talk on the pod, but I was fired from On the Map for being against this being done to them. By the way, someone had to have a backbone. So at least this allegation is that this was being done deliberately. Like they knew they were going to get away with continuing to get law firms to pay them a retainer while delivering work for those law firms with no intention of ever paying those people. I don't know that that's true or not. I'm just surmising based on what's written on the web, on Facebook by people who are very open about it, and who have no reason not to be. Right?
So Conrad, I own a law firm, or I'm a CMO or marketing director at a law firm.
I know.
And I hear this and I'm concerned about it.
That my agency was bought by PE, right?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were doing that. I thought you were throwing those arrows.
No. Okay. I was going to ask you, what types of questions should I be asking when I'm vetting a vendor if I don't want this practice done on my behalf?
Well, it's a good question. When you're vetting a vendor, I think one of the question becomes how much of your work is white labeled. We get that question quite a lot, to be honest. And I think it's a valid question, and I answer it the way that we just talked about it. In my opinion, the expertise of what you're buying should primarily come from within the firm, from within the agency. And there are certainly places where you can kind of ebb and flow, and there's certainly things that are outside of your core competency where you're just like, listen, I'm gonna bring Charlie Mann on to run. Email is really important for you. We're gonna bring Charlie Mann onto your account to run email, and we have a great relationship with Charlie, and that works well for the client. It works well for Charlie. It works well for us, right? Like those are good things. The hidden stuff like this, questionable. I have a problem with this. The other thing that this does, unfortunately, is the more you are focused on finite tactical deliverables, the more you're incenting your agency to cut corners like this. What do I mean by that? We're going to generate 10 backlinks for you every month, right? And then like month 7 comes along and the agency's like, I don't know where I'm going to get 10 backlinks. So now all of a sudden I'm paying my guys in India on their ability to generate backlinks, right? So I'm taking no risk. And the Indian guys are like, I don't know how to generate more backlinks for this thing. I'm going to create a website and create a backlink for this website, right? Like it's very easy to work around this stuff. So these tangible deliverables that incentivize lying to you, problematic.
Now, this is such a great conversation, because I will tell you this: we have lost deals for this very reason, because we will not, especially with link building, right? Because depending on what kind of link building tactics you're going to do, you can't guarantee it. right? I can't guarantee that if we do say we're just make one easy example. We're going to do some content marketing campaign. I'll give you one that we've done. We do we're going to highlight all of the dangerous intersections in a community. Maybe we're going to make a map of it. We're going to circulate that to local news organizations. We have zero control whether or not those organizations link back. Now, we have lost deals because in an effort to pin us down on deliverables, the potential client will say, look, can you guys guarantee or commit to, a certain amount of links? And so I try to have this conversation. I'm like, the people who are guaranteeing a certain number of link deliverables, not all of them, but you should be asking how they're going to fulfill that deliverable, because the only way to consistently fulfill it requires you doing something that allows you to exercise some modicum of control over your ability to get the links, and that therein lies the rub. So ironically, the marketplace is, please commit contractually to a link deliverable. And the truth is that those that commit to link deliverables oftentimes are doing so in a way that's probably not building the best links.
100%. Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's a problem, and yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
And with that, dear listeners,
with that,
we are silent. We don't know what to say. What can we? Well, I'll tell you. I would tell. This is my thing. Here's my answer to the question, since I softballed it up to you.
Okay.
You got to ask. You got to be like, give me some examples. How are you going to do this? Am I going to have access? Are you going to give me an opportunity to review the work that you're doing on my behalf? Are you going to be transparent about the work you're going to do on my behalf? What is your position on Google's quality guidelines? What is your position on my state's rules of professional conduct? Because again, once you go down that path, here's what's going to happen. They're either going to be like, rules of professional conduct, I have no idea what you're talking about. In which case, okay, then you're entering into that with like, there's risks. If someone's going to go out there and do things that violate the rules of professional conduct, you took that risk on. So that there's the fake reviews thing. What are you going to do? How are you going to do link building? Well, we're going to do a massive outreach to blog networks. Okay, what's that look like? Are you going to show me what that looks like? And again, and then of course, if you box them in and they're like, well, it's proprietary, right? It's a proprietary process. It's our proprietary link building system. We can't tell you. And so my point with all of this is, we've been doing this way too long. And I'm not even going to sit here and get into all the nuance and like, is a sponsorship a paid link and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the cure to not running through these issues with people is for the consumers of these services to take some accountability and say, hey, look, I got to learn some of this stuff, because it's not coming from the FTC. It's not coming from state attorney general's offices. It's not coming from state bars, and it's not coming from the marketplace. So you take whatever level of risk that you want, but make an informed choice.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to set Guy off.
Yeah, do it. Fire me off.
When you disengage with that agency, should those links disappear?
Well, they're probably doing you a favor. A lot of times, you're the links that are, and I'll just, for people who know why Conrad's laughing so hard, because a lot of times the links are so bad that most of the time they're not really doing anything. So it's like, doesn't really matter. But sometimes they're creating risks of manual actions and potentially algorithmic issues with link profiles. This came up in this, how are we on time? We got a little time here. I saw this post. Someone was posting about, it was actually, and I apologize to whoever posted this. If you come across this video, you can drop a link in the comments. But they posted a work order or a job description for a content writer. And the rates were so low that it was like laughable that like somebody would actually be able to create content of any kind of quality without using AI at scale to be able to deliver on this. And one of the commenters said, well, they're just ripe for a manual action by publishing all this kind of content. Conrad, when's the last time you've seen a manual action?
I mean, it's a great thing that we can say to strike fear into people, but like it's
like the IRS. They strike fear into people, but they don't really audit anybody.
Yeah, the manual action stuff. Like, I mean, here. Well, hold on. I might be wrong.
Have you seen one?
You mentioned. Oh, sorry. This was the FCC going after people. It wasn't a Google.
FTC.
It wasn't FTC. FCC.
Yeah,
sorry,
Google.
I'm taking a drone pilot certification with the FCC right now, so I'm getting my acronyms, and I'm dyslexic, so my acronyms are all over the place.
What is a manual action?
A manual action is when a human at Google decides to put a bullet in your Google business profile or your website. The most famous one happened with BMW back in the late 90s when BMW was, I think they were putting like black text on a black background for used BMW, and BMW was kicked out of European search results. BMW, the car manufacturer, was kicked out of European search results for a while. The most famous one in legal, Guy, what was the most famous one in legal?
Well, I don't know if this is the most famous one, but FindLaw went through
thank you.
Is that the one you're referring to?
It's the most famous one to me because I really enjoyed every moment of it.
But so anyway, we used to see a lot more of them. We get firms that would come to us and be like, hey, my agency triggered this manual action thing. What is that? And I'm like, I am so sorry for your loss. But largely,
I have another question
nowadays,
for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of FindLaw, would you hire someone who used to work at FindLaw as a virtual CMO who is going to evaluate the effectiveness and openness of your vendors?
Absolutely. Would you never hire somebody who's
Wait a second. You sent me this post.
I did.
You did. And you're okay with it?
Well, I was really just trying to
I think you used the word irony when you sent it to me.
Yes, I thought it was ironic that the person from but again, I would say this. People can change their ways, right? It's just like the I don't
know, man.
It's like you used to do this thing and then you change, you had an epiphany, you had a revelation, and you're changing your ways.
You're going to bring up marketing.com?
My big thing is about all these marketing police folks, which again, I get the need for it, right? I understand that
we can't throw marketing police bombs, dude. So that's going to come right back and fall at our feet. We just crapped on Scorpion for a while. Right? There is a definite, we've talked about this for forever. There's a need for more accountability in the marketing function, in legal and beyond. And so that's a great position to be in. I just find that a lot of times the people who are purporting to be the quote unquote police lack some accountability themselves. Leave it like that. All right. I'm just reading your post here to me.
Go ahead.
We hold marketing agencies accountable. Interesting.
Great.
Check notes. Former FindLaw guy.
Yeah.
That's so rich. You wrote that's rich.
I thought it was rich, but I don't know. I didn't know any of those people.
Okay.
And I would just say that I've had experiences that have been less than positive and less than what I would view as accountable from some of those companies that are out there doing such things.
Hey, in all fairness, I hired someone right out of Scorpion once.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Right.
Didn't last long,
but because you were like, we at our company, the clients own the accounts, and they're like, wait, what? That doesn't work.
Well, the thing that I was excited about bringing this person on. She was running like, I can't remember, 80 to 120 accounts. And I'm like, you can come here and work for 8 and we're going to do a really good job for them. And she was excited about that. But the problem is when you're running 100 accounts, you don't actually do anything, right? You can't have 100 relationships. So
use technology.
Yeah. So
we have infinite resources now.
Check.
We have infinite resources and engineering that allows us to scale our service offering, and it's actually a competitive advantage for our account people to be running hundreds of accounts.
Yeah,
that's the answer.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, everyone.
Everyone. We've besmirched enough here.
We've lost more.
Conrad's
friends.
besmirched everybody. Thank you, listeners, for stopping by for this edition of Office Hours. We will see you next Thursday for our next episode of Office Hours, and a new episode dropped just yesterday, and a new one will drop next week because we do it every week.
And happy Hamburger Day.
Happy Hamburger Day.
For those of you waiting for the audio, you can join me.
Where is the audio? I love the, StreamYard. You got to make it a little, you got to be able to let me do some something here. So anyway, we're just going to end it. Money makes the world go around.
We're just